Hey everybody, it's your girl Keisha J. Kelly here with another episode of Black College Experience. Oh, I think I'm finally over my sickness. I done went from homecoming to interviews to another interview. I went from one to the next to here we go rocking and rolling again. But this interview today, I'm really excited about because I know this man is super duper busy. It's also his homecoming, so I know he in between coaching and everything else. But y'all, that didn't stop me from asking him or asking them, could I interview him? So we're going to bring on none other than South Carolina State coach, head coach, Chennis Berry.
Keisha, what's going on? How you doing today?
Hey, coach. How you
Good
doing?
to see you.
You too.
Good to be seen, right?
You know what? That's what Coach Oliver said. Coach Oliver said it to me one day. I did. I had him on Monday, and then here I go with you on Wednesday.
Well, that's my boy. That's my boy. No doubt about it.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Coach Berry. I'm not gonna hold you too long, but I'm gonna say happy homecoming because I know y'all getting ready over there. Wait, you graduated from Savannah State too, right?
I graduated from Savannah State in '96.
So it's happy homecoming twice. Happy homecoming.
Happy homecoming.
You
I
ain't like
tell
you
our
be
players,
jealous.
I tell our players, homecoming ain't for us. It's for the alumni, it's for the
It
student
is.
body, and we got to be locked in. So my players, man, we don't do homecoming festivities. We do the game, and after the game, they can party like rock stars.
So prior to that, they can't do nothing.
Oh, Nathaniel. What part? Nathaniel. Now we have our middle linebacker Aaron Smith. He's going to participate in one little event because he's Mr. Homecoming. He's a well-rounded young man that deserves everything that he's getting. So that's about the only thing that they're going to be able to do. He's going to do a little pre-homecoming deal with it, him being named Mr. Homecoming. But other than that, it's all about the game. All about the game, getting ready for a good Dale State football team.
So, Coach, let me ask you, how have you been? How are you?
Oh, I'm blessed, man. I'm glad to be here, man. It's another day, another opportunity. I always say it all the time. Some people be like, man, I got to go to work in the morning. I say, no, I get to go to work this morning. And I'm excited to be the head football coach at South Carolina State because I follow some legends, man. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, man. When I walk to practice every day and I look up in the rafters at Oliver C. Dawson Stadium, Willie Jeffries Field, it just humbles my heart, to follow the greats of a Willie Jeffries, of a Oliver Pugh, Buddy Pugh, man. I mean, you're talking about great coaches. Bill Davis, who came through here as well. I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to be the new head football coach here. And it's a great day with great people. Alumni have been amazing. So I'm in a great place, man. And I'm excited to be the head football coach here.
So, y'all, I call Coach Berry the triple threat. Why? Because Coach Berry didn't coach in the SIAC. He didn't coach in the SWAC. He didn't coach in the MEAC, and he's crossed over. He's gone from one, gone back. So before we get into that, talking about how you didn't coached across the board, let me start off with your playing. Why Savannah State?
As a player,
Yes.
as a student athlete,
Yes.
I'm about the attitude of gratitude. When I say that, opportunity. Well, guess what? I had one offer, and that was from Savannah State.
And that was going to be my next question. But okay.
I had one offer. They gave me a chance. And when somebody give you a chance, you take advantage of that opportunity. I share the story all the time. The reason why I always bring up Bill Davis, Bill Davis was the head football coach here from like 79 when Willie Jeffries left to go to Wichita State. Bill Davis was the head coach here from 79 to like maybe 85. And he took on the job at Savannah State in 86. And, I so happened to was in a basketball tournament. I played football and basketball, and we were in a basketball tournament down at Windsor Forest High School in Savannah, Georgia. And so happened at that time, Bill Davis was there at that basketball tournament watching, I believe, his daughter play in the women's side. And he saw me playing. I was a bigger guy. I showed athletic ability, showed talent. And when the game was over, he literally walked up to me and offered me a full scholarship to come to Savannah State. And just like anybody, because that was my only offer, I accepted it. So wouldn't have chose a better place, man. I had a great experience in my 4 years at Savannah State. Friends for life. Got my degree from a great institution, and I'm grateful to all in all get my degree in business from Savannah State College at the time. I was part of the last graduating class at Savannah State College.
Old school.
Old school, that's right. If the old school didn't pave the way.
So now we've graduated. First job out of college. What was it?
I can't hear you. You were breaking up a little bit.
What was the first job out of college? Once you graduated, what was the first job?
Oh, I took it to Morris Brown College. I was the offensive line coach, strength and conditioning coach at Morris Brown in '96. The Olympics had just left Atlanta, and we had built a new stadium. The Olympics had bought us a new stadium downtown ATL, and my first job was at Morris Brown College.
What was that like?
That was fun, man. You talking about, like I say, the Olympics had just left Atlanta. We had brand new facilities, state-of-the-art building. I was in Atlanta. I was 23 years old, making a decent little salary in Atlanta. Oh, it was fun. I worked with some good guys that are still my friends to this day. Cedric Pearl, who's the head football coach at Allen now. I was the O-line coach, and he was the D-line coach, and we're still the best of friends. But, it was a great experience for me. And I always tell people that job paved the rest of my career. And that job set me up for the relationships that I built throughout. And now I'm in year 33 coaching HBCU football.
Whew, Lord have mercy, you're 33. That sounds so, it sounds so long. Oh, Coach Pearl, yeah, he's a great, I've followed most of his coaching career too. So now we got to take it back through all of your coaching careers, because you've been at quite a few schools. Talk about some of those different moments at those different schools that you coached at, because I knew you started at Morris Brown.
Well, I mean, it's been a great, honestly. I tell people all the time, all the jobs I got in HBCU, I never interviewed for any of them because my reputation started to become pretty special when you talk about developing offensive linemen and calling offensive plays. And when I left Morris Brown, I went to get my master's degree, and I was the O-line coach at Kentucky State University. I was there for 4 years, and I ended up getting my master's in public administration, which was great. It helped spark my career because I was, people wasn't going to ever be able to say that I wasn't qualified. So I had my bachelor's, I had my master, and I was gaining experience along the way. So met some great people there at Kentucky State. We won a lot of games. We played in what they call the Pioneer Bowl, which was the SIC versus CIAA. We played in that back in '97. So had some good experiences there. And after I left Kentucky State in 2000, that was my last season, I went to Fort Valley State University in 2001 and 2002 season. And we had a playoff team there. I mean, we won a lot of games there. I worked for Kent Schoolfield at the time, and we were a really good team. We had good program, and we were taking some steps forward. So I built some great relationships. And I probably learned the most offensive football of anybody that I've ever worked with when I worked with Kent Schoolfield. If you look at Kent Schoolfield's track record, he was, back when they wasn't hiring a lot of black coaches on the Power 5 level, he was Bobby Bowden's wide receiver coach in the 70s at Florida State. So when we were together in 2001, I mean, he taught me the most ball I have ever learned in my life. So that experience was amazing. And then after the 2002 season, I went to North Carolina A&T, my first MEAC experience. Went to North Carolina A&T in 2003. In our very first year, we went 10-2 and won the MEAC. So that was a great experience. I was there 03, 04, and 05. We won a lot of ball games, and it was great for us. And then after I left there, I went to be the offensive coordinator at Morgan State University in 06. So I met my man, Coach Don Hill, who was an amazing head coach. We're still best of friends today. He's now at Georgia Tech as the chief of staff. We were there from 06, 07, 08. That was a great experience for me living up in Baltimore, Maryland. Where you gotta be ready when you live in Baltimore. It's a lot going on in Baltimore, so you got to keep your head on the swivel too. It's live up there in Baltimore. But I had some great times up there. Won a lot of ball games there as well. And then I went back to A&T. That was kind of ironic. Our defensive coordinator at the time, Alonzo Lee, ended up getting the head job at North Carolina A&T. So I went back there as the offensive coordinator in 2009. 2009 and 10. That stint didn't last long. They got rid of Coach Lee after the 2010 season. So, in this profession, when the head man gets let go, we're all going to get let go. So, I left there and got offered a job at Howard University. I worked for Gary Harrell, who's now the running back coach at University of Colorado with Dion. He was our head coach at Howard. We were there, won a lot of games in 11 and 12. And that was a great experience for me. Then with Coach Dawson Odoms, who we worked together at A&T. We worked together 2009 and 10 at A&T. And he was the OC, and he was the DC, and I was the OC. And when we ended up, when he got the job at Southern, it was kind of like an unwritten law. It really wasn't even a whole long conversation. It was like we were meant to be together. So Coach Dawson Odoms and I were together from 2013, in which we won the SWAC our very first year. We were there together from 2013 until I left in 2019, which was 7 seasons together, and won a lot of football games there. It was fun in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. A lot of good food. That was the first time I experienced crawfish. When I first got to Southern University, they were talking about we're getting ready to have a cookout. I was like, man, I'm from the South, man, so I'm getting ready for some ribs, some chicken, some baked beans, potato salad. I'm getting ready, right? And then they had all these coolers. I'm like, what's in all these coolers? All of a sudden, they had this big table, and they laid this paper out, and they started pouring these crawfish on the table. I'm like, man, where in the world is that? So that was an experience in itself. So I come to learn and love crawfish. You can't get it everywhere. I don't even want it nowhere else. If I'm not in Louisiana, I don't want no crawfish. But got a chance to experience there, man. Got some Blue Store chicken. That's the famous place down there in Baton Rouge. Won a lot of football games, but met a lot of great people. That's where I met you at as well, at Southern University. And, after I left Southern, I was blessed to have an opportunity to get the head football coaching job at Benedict College, where we turned around a program real fast. We turned it around, a program that when we got a chance to get in there, we had to, build it from the bottom. It was at tough times at the time we took it over and turned it into a national powerhouse program in a couple years. And now I'm here in 2023. I was named the head football coach at South Carolina State University, and it's a great day to be a Bulldog.
So, y'all, he said a lot. It's funny that you said that's the first time you had crawfish, because that's the first time I had crawfish too. My freshman year at Springfest. That was the first time. I had no idea what it was. I did not know how to eat it. They had to explain it to me. I didn't know what it was. I was the same way. When they said cook, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, all right, ribs, hamburgers, hot dogs. I'm thinking the same thing because I'm from Alabama. So when I see crawfish, I'm like, oh, they got a whole separate thing aside from this other food. But yeah, that's the one thing people always say, if you could eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be? Crawfish is the one thing I would eat every single day.
That's right.
With
Absolutely.
no questions asked. So I remember I do remember when you actually got the job at Benedict. I still remember that whole announcement, that whole process. Was super excited, but sad at the same time, if that makes sense. Because if y'all were listening through the process, we heard how you won a lot of football games. Notice how you went in winning championships in your first seasons. So to see all of that happen, you always want to see the success of a coach. But we know with the success of a coach is going to come a lot of piranhas trying to pull those coaches away. So it was like a bittersweet moment. Excited for you to go be head coach, but sad to see you go at the same time. And we didn't have that conversation before. So that first season was COVID season. That second season was like 5-5. And then after that, y'all were like first in the East first, like for the remainder of the time. You won what, 2 national black championships? Coach of the year.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
Benedict was definitely good times because I think that's where I really got to see even more your work because I'm here in Atlanta. So I got to see more of the work because it was when you're coming in to play in the SIAC, playing all these teams. And I used to tell people, I was like, if y'all not paying attention to Benedict, you might want to start paying attention to this program. You get to that point, and I think this is when I started listening to the 1-0. Go 1-0. Win the day. Talk about that motto or that mantra, if you will, 1-0.
The process. It's the process. And I appreciate you sharing it. I had a real long talk with my team this morning, and because that's what we preach here as well. So 1-0 mindset, and just about stacking days. And we fall in love with the process more than the outcome. When we read the book Chop Wood, Carry Water, and we've read it at Benedict and we read it here at South Carolina State, it's talking about surrender the outcome and fall in love with the process of becoming great. We all want the same end goal. Every team in America, they started this season off thinking that they were going to be champions. I mean, we all do. But if you fall in love with just going 1-0 every day, just dominate the day. Just be the best you can be every day. Those days turn into weeks, and the weeks turn into months, and the months turn into years. Then you look up when it's all said and done, you had an excellent season. And these are just seasons. Like I say, these are just seasons. God put me here for a reason, season, or a lifetime. We just don't know which path it's going to be. But like I say, I won't change that. It's the process that, Nick Saban talks about it all the time. He's kind of coined that phrase, but the process has been going on long before Nick Saban. If you just work on those small mundane things, be the best guy in the world in tying your shoe. It might seem small, but I'm going to be the best shoe tire in America. All right. If I need to write my name, I'm going to write my name the best that I can write my name in America. I'm going to be the best at it. And if you fall in love with the process, the outcome will eventually come, but the process is bigger than the outcome.
And so you get there, like you said, y'all turn that program around really fast. You built it up very fast. It was, literally blowing people out. We knew pretty soon when we turned on the TV, we knew what Benedict was gonna do. We knew y'all were gonna win. It just got to that point that Benedict was just blowing the opponent out. So you not only building young men on the field, but you're building them up as well, young men in the classroom. Talk about the importance of getting the education, because we know everybody wants to play football, go pro. But talk about the importance of education that you preach to these young men.
Well, I say it all the time. I probably talk more life than I talk football, to be honest. I notice myself, this is a ministry. This is the ministry that God called me to do. I used to chase the big jobs. We all did. We wanted to coach Power 5, NFL. But I truly believe that the good Lord placed me here to be a HBCU head football coach so I can pour back into people that look just like me. And what a great job it is. It's an experience where, I come to work every day and don't even feel like I'm at work. So I know that these young men are going to spend more time as fathers, husbands, and leaders in the community than they will be as football players. So as me and my staff's obligation is to pour into them bigger than football. I mean, we talk probably life lessons more than anything, and I really feel wholeheartedly about that. I truly believe that, when it's Judgment Day, right? And that dash that I always talk about. I was born April 16, 1973. Then there's a dash in the middle. I don't know when I'm going to leave this world. But the time I'm here, if I can bring people closer to God, make better people and better men as they go in the community, the good Lord, when it's time for him to say whether I'm going to come through the pearly gates and spend the rest of eternal life with him, they're not going to care how many football games I won. He's not going to care. How many souls did we save and how many people did we make better and bring closer to him? So I really don't play about that. Like, I'm really serious about that. I love my players. There's a love and a connection between myself, my staff, and my players. Now, I'm very demanding. I don't play the radio with them. I am very demanding because the world is going to be very demanding. It's a very different generation that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
One thing, my players, they understand I'm demanding, but I'm fair. And I'm going to hold them accountable for every action. There's going to be a reaction, just like it will be in the real world. So, I don't take this job lightly. I really love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do, but it's bigger than football. It's a ministry to get these young men ready for the game of life.
So we had go Jags, go Tigers, and now we're go Dogs. When you left Benedict, what was that like? How were the players feeling? How was the alumni feeling?
Well, Benedict, let me tell y'all something. I didn't know much about Benedict before I took the job there. Those were some of the best people in my life those 3 years I was there. First of all, amazing president. If you don't get a chance to meet Dr. Rosalind Clark
Mhm.
Artist, she is a rock star. All right? They don't make them like her. She is special. And to have her at the top, that's really the reason why I chose Benedict. I mean, at the time when I took the Benedict job, I was a finalist for the Howard job that they ended up taking Larry Scott. I was a finalist for the Fort Valley job, and they chose Maurice Flowers. That's now Johnson C. Smith. Well, Benedict was sitting right there waiting on me. You know, when I got passed over on the other two places, Benedict was right there. And the people that I met, the players that I had the opportunity to coach, the alumni, I mean, they treated me amazing. So my experience there was great. And of course, you know, in life, man, you pray and you ask the Lord for increase. The prayer of Jabez is enlarge my territory in a special way. I pray for increase in the mighty name of Jesus. That's my prayer every day. It's still my prayer to today. But I don't know what the increase is. Sometimes it's a financial increase. Sometimes it's a better job increase. Sometimes it's different people coming in your life increase. But it's the prayer of Jabez. And I really felt that. And when I got an opportunity for jobs to come open, I mean, South Carolina State was not at the time, honestly, my only option. I had other opportunities, but you know, I had to pray on it because it wasn't easy to leave Benedict. Like even though some SWAC and MEAC teams had offered the position or was courting at the time, that's not wasn't the reason why I left Benedict. I left Benedict because I prayed on it and I asked God to lead me, guide me, direct me, and order my steps. And that's what He did. He ordered my steps to being right here where I'm at. And I believe in blooming where your feet are. Bloom where you're planted and being where your feet are. And there's no better job in America than the job that I have. So you won't ever see a coach that's trying to look for the next job. I just want to make places better than it was before I found it. So I felt like, you know, my short time at Benedict, I wanted to make it better than it was before I found it. And here at South Carolina State, I'm going to try to make it better than it was before I found it. And if the good Lord taps me on my shoulder and it's time for me to move on, then I'll just follow His lead. But, you know, all in all, I'm happy to be here. I'm blessed to be here. It's a great place with great people. Because to me, I'm from HBCU. It's about the relationships and it's about the people. You know, the people have been amazing. You're talking about alumni. South Carolina State is on point. So I'm glad to be here. I just want to do my best and giving them something to be proud of. You know, because you know it's HBCU. We're proud of the places that we went to school. So I want them Bulldogs nationwide, worldwide, to be proud of their institution in Bulldog football.
I mean, and I can hear the passion. Just and then when you said I don't play about when you're talking about the whole God and everything, I can hear it. Like I can hear it. And if I had a second to pick up my notes, I probably would have wrote some of this so I can add this to my prayer life because it makes so much sense. And I do. I listen to when people start talking about, hey, I pray. Listen, some of this stuff we just be learning. We learn from other people, and it's okay to learn from other people. But so now you leave Benedict, and that's one of the things I want to pivot into. You get to South Carolina State. Announcement came out in December. So how excited were you to get over to South Carolina State, the alumni, the players? Because now we got to go to a new buy-in. How excited were you to get to South Carolina State?
I thought it was a great transition, honestly. I mean, being that I was right down the road in Columbia, which is 45 minutes away, it only made sense to stay right here in the state of South Carolina where I already had great relationships with the high school coaches here in the state. I didn't have to go far. You know, I still have my house in Columbia. I hadn't sold it or rented it out yet. So I still kind of, I do have a little spot. I stay here in Orangeburg. I hadn't bought here yet, but, you know, I still have my house there. So it was an easy transition for my wife. You know, she's a registered nurse and she didn't have to do much moving. So it made sense. And then our daughter now, she's a freshman here at South Carolina State. She was a
Nice.
senior in high school at the time. So it's a win-win for everybody. It's like a whole family affair. But when I got a chance to just meet the president here, President Conyers, man, he's an awesome man as well. And he's a great leader. And he really wants this athletics program to be top notch. And I felt it in his passion when I sat down and talked with him. And then his whole cabinet, all the administrative team that works with him. I mean, they've been great. The board of trustees, the head of the board of trustees, they've been great. I mean, the community's been great. Our players, whenever you take over for a guy that's been the head football coach here for the last 23 years, there's going to be change.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Pugh been here since 2002. So there's change is inevitable, and it's going to happen. But I'm grateful to have Coach Pugh. He's a resource for me. I mean, we talk almost every day. He's a guy that I can lean on, know what places to go, where not to go, and what people to be around, what people not to be around. I mean, he's really been a rock star for me, and I'm grateful to have him as well as Coach Jeffries. I mean, Coach Jeffries is a phone call away as well. So who knows this place better than those two? And I'm grateful to have them. And then you got to get buy-in. Whenever there's new, there's going to be change. So a lot of things changed, and I had to get players that were currently here to buy into my philosophy. And everything about me is about discipline. And it starts and ends with discipline. So, they had to learn a different way. It's not the best way, but it was the way that works for me and what I believe in. And we still have a ways to go. We're not there yet, but we're definitely heading in the right direction. And I'm grateful, like I say, to have the current players that I had inherited and then the players that we bought in. And I believe that we're putting a roster together that we'll be able to compete year in and year out.
And so how long did it take them to buy in, or are they still buying in?
I mean, it's still, anytime you're in year one, it still might be one or two on the fence, but it's not many. Most of them, I have a team of 109 players. So, but it started at about 130. And those 21 or 22 that wasn't bought in, guess what? They're no longer here. And it's not personal. They just don't fit the culture.
Mm-hmm.
And some people that don't fit the culture, that's okay. I don't wish no harm on you. It's just you can't play here because we're going to do it one way, and that's going to be with discipline and accountability. So, all in all, it was definitely been a process. But are we there yet? No. But are we heading in the right direction? We absolutely are.
You said one thing. You said culture. When I was interviewing Coach Oliver the other day, he talked about culture. And that was weird, talking about recruiting, talking about coaching. And he talked about how a lot of coaches will go in the transfer portal getting athletes, but they don't always fit the culture, because we always talk about the culture, the culture, the culture. You can be a great athlete, but doesn't necessarily mean you fit the culture of the program of where you're trying to go to, which made a lot of sense in what he was saying. So now, Coach, what does a typical game day look like? What time do you get up and get ready for a typical game day?
Well, depending on the kickoff time, but I'm an early riser, so I'm gonna be up at 4:30 anyway, regardless if we playing or not, early or late. I'm just an early riser, and I get up and I get in prayer, and I ask God to order my steps and lead me, guide me, direct. And when you're in a leadership role, you need guidance, you need wisdom. So I just tell the good Lord, have it your way. Lord God, whatever you want me to do, Lord God, have it your way. And I just trust that. Then I'm having a couple cups of coffee now. I'm a coffee drinker. So
How many cups of coffee?
I'm usually gonna drink two. I gotta have the right creamer. I gotta have the right sugar and the right coffee. That's important. I gotta have the right coffee. That's important. That gets me going. Now if you know anything about me, I stay juiced up. But it's not the coffee. This is just how I'm wired. I'm a juiced up individual. So, but typically game day, I watch college football game day. I mean, I'm like addicted to that show. So I really like that show and get a chance to just watch different programs across America. And then, usually depending on if we're on the road or at home, we'll have a walkthrough that morning. Just to kind of go over everything, make sure we're on the same page, same line, same sentence, same word. And then we have pregame meal. So normally during pregame meal, I'm locked in. I usually give my pregame speech during pregame meal. I don't do it right before the game. I'm locked in. I usually, like I say, one of the players on the team will lead the team in prayer. and we'll send the team up with different groups. And then we go back and we do a little what we call a call up, special teams call up. So everybody kind of stands up to their area. Then we'll watch a highlight tape. Then we do the bulldog walk. Then it's time to go lock and load. So, it's a process depending on what time of the game it is. But we're going to eat pregame meal about 4 hours before kickoff. But, I'm pretty regimented. I'm going to probably do the same thing. I'm probably do the same thing every week. That's just who I am and how I'm built. So, my wife get on me all the time. She was like we can't throw you off your rhythm because you regimented. That's just who I am. So it's all good. I don't have no problem with that.
Any particular songs, any particular music you listen to?
No, I really don't. I'm an old school guy. So, some people got to listen to, Lil Baby and Bump the Head and all that. Man, I'm listening to some Teddy Pendergrass, some Marvin Gaye, man, some doggone Frankie Beverly and Mays, man. I'm listening to that smooth stuff, man. I don't listen to all that hard head stuff. I listen to that good music.
So let me switch it back over to here. We know coming out of COVID, and this is one of the things we often miss with student athletes, mental health and the importance of mental health. What do you say to your guys about mental health? Because a lot of times we know that's what a lot of people live by. It's just the sport. We're so concerned with the sport and going with the sport and trying to win. And, we want to win for our family. We want to win for our friends. What do you say to your athletes, to this team, about mental health and the importance of talking to somebody if they need to, if they're dealing with something?
Well, first and foremost, I think mental health is real. Mental health is probably more important than your physical health, because if your mind's not right, if you hear anything about Coach Berry, if you talk to any of my players, the word that they probably hear more than anything is mindset. I say mindset all the time. So if my mindset not right, how am I going to perform? So it's a blessing here that we have a coaching staff that we are not just coaches. We are fathers, we are uncles, we have to go spend a lot of time with our young men. And our young men understand that they have us to be able to go to first and foremost. But there's also resources on campus. I bring guest speakers in all the time to speak to our team. And mental health is the main one I bring in. And let them know that we have resources here on campus. We have resources in the community that if you need to talk to someone, don't hold it in. You have coaches that love you. All right. You have people on campus that care about you and want to see your overall success. So mental health, we don't play about it. It is a real deal. And I support it. Every time they have mental health activities on campus, I try to be present because I know these young men, they go through so much. Not only young men on our team, we have young ladies that are like, maybe managers or trainers and things of that nature. They go through so much. This generation go through so much. So they have to have a resource to be able to go to when things aren't necessarily going their way. They need someone to be able to talk to. And we have an open door policy here at South Carolina State.
So speaking of talking to somebody, are those two players behind you saying something?
Depend on the day.
I hope they don't, because if they ever do, I hope you get up out of there.
Yeah, depend on the day. Sometimes just depend on what I'm feeling that day. But they hadn't talked to me yet, but we'll see.
If they tap you on the shoulder, just make sure you get up and run on out of there. If either one of them tap you, just run on out of there. So now we prepare. Homecoming is coming. You're playing Delaware State. How excited are the guys about homecoming, and how excited are you to be playing this Delaware State team?
It's a big game. Why? Because it's the next game. All us coaches are wired the same way. Homecoming is great. Alumni come back. Atmosphere is amazing, electric. We're excited. No question about it. There's excitement in the air here at South Carolina State, and they do it the right way. At least that's what I hear. But I'll find out in a few days. But it's really not for the football players. It's more for the alumni, for the student body, for the faculty staff, because the players have to be so focused and locked in. We always tell them to eliminate distractions, things that may come in from the outside to take them away from the focus and the task at hand. The focus is to be locked in because, like we said about that mind, if the mind's in other places not focused on the task at hand, that's when you have failure, which we don't want. So we even take our team off campus on Friday night. After we have our little walkthrough on Friday, we'll go off. We'll go away from it all. because we have to get focused on the main thing. The main thing has to be the main thing. And the main thing is those 30,000, 40,000 screaming fans that'll be there for the biggest party on campus. And the biggest party on campus is homecoming game. So, all in all, we have to be focused on that. But I just love to see the more seasoned alumni be able to come back with pride in their institution, their university. I love to see the student body. Being I have a daughter that's a freshman here, and she's kind of a quiet, laid-back person, to be able to see her come out of her shell now because of the things she's able to experience. Life brings you experiences, and this is going to be an amazing experience for our young men. But it only makes it better when we go and take care of business on the field. So, like I say, a lot of the outside stuff won't particularly be for us, but we'll be focused on the main thing, and the main thing is to go 1-0.
Wait, you say your daughter's quiet and you her dad?
Oh yeah, she's definitely quiet, but I'm turned up.
What is she majoring in?
She wants to do criminal justice.
Okay. Okay. So are there any words or anything that you're focused on with this Delaware State team? Anything that you've seen that you're mainly focused on with this team?
Well, we have they have the leading rusher in the league. Their running back, he's special. He can dot the I and cross the T. I mean, he's leading the whole entire MEAC in rushing. They played against some good ball club. So anything for us, we got to be able to stop the run. Then we also have to be able to run the football. I think when you win ball games, you got to lock in on those. And I think our D-line has been doing a really good job all year stopping the run. We just got to be more consistent offensively in running the football. But all in all, I respect all our opponents. Dale State's going to bring a team in here that's going to be focused, and they're going to be locked in because they understand the urgency of the MEAC, and we only have 6 teams, so every game matters. So, I can't worry too much about Dale State. It's more so of us versus us, and making sure that we don't shoot ourselves in the foot with what I call sins. Those are self-inflicted negatives. We can't have sins. It's got to be about making sure that we're in our kicking units, we're sound, in our offensive units, we're sound, defensive units, we're sound, and then we're flying around and making plays, and give our alumni something to be proud of, because although it's a homecoming game, it's still a MEAC game, and being in this MEAC game, we want to come out of there 1-0.
That makes sense. So, Coach, first, I'm going to say thank you for joining me on Black College Experience. I finally got you to sit down. But before we go, it's the last part of the segment, and it's called the hot seat. There ain't nothing crazy. You just got to answer. You got to answer one or the other. You don't have no time to think about it. Don't be like Coach Oliver. I asked him a question, and he threw something in there with the question. I don't even know. But you can only answer one or the other, okay?
Okay, bet. Let's do it.
You ready?
Let's do it. I ain't scared.
Blue Stove or Tony's?
Blue Stove.
Gatorade or Powerade?
Gatorade.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Flats or drones?
Flats.
Blue cheese or ranch?
Blue cheese.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Fall or spring?
Fall.
Your favorite genre of music?
R&B old school.
Your favorite place that you ever visited?
Favorite place I ever visited is probably, I would say, Jamaica. I love Jamaica.
I think he said Jamaica too. I think he said Jamaica too. Favorite pro football team?
Atlanta Falcons.
You know what? I don't know about this, Coach. I don't know. We might have to end this right here because I'm a Saints fan, Coach. I don't. I get it. You're a Georgia boy, but I don't know.
Yeah, I rock with them Falcons. Dirty Birds back from Michael Vick days. Dirty Birds, baby. You know what I'm saying? Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we ready.
The tag team back again.
Peace up, 8-time down, baby. Whoop, there it is. Huh?
Favorite pro basketball player?
Kobe.
All right.
I'm a Kobe fan. You talking about now or just all time?
Just all time.
Oh, Kobe. Kobe was my guy.
Okay. LeBron or Steph Curry?
Run.
And then final question. The best HBCU in the world.
South Carolina State. How you think you gonna try me like that? Man,
Everybody had to answer it.
man,
Everybody.
what's wrong with you, girl? South Carolina State Bulldog, girl. How you gonna try me like that, man? You know, I'm tighter than that. Now you can't do me like that. The Bulldog, baby. Let's get it. Go Dogs.
Coach Barry, again, thank you so much for joining me here on Black College Experience. I truly appreciate it. I know it is a big week for y'all. And I know you're super busy, but I truly do appreciate you for taking some time out of your schedule to sit down and have this conversation with me. And unfortunately, I don't have no Blue Stone chicken for you. I can't do that for you, but next time I got you.
Listen, Keisha, when they told me my SID and my liaison told me that Keisha Kelly from Black College Experience, I don't care what I was doing because I truly believe in good people. So I was going to start what I was doing for you anyway. And I
Thank
appreciate what you do. I
thank
appreciate your consistency. You are amazing. I love what you do. You've been awesome from the day I met you. And I make time for good people. So again, remember I say I'm a good people person. So you've always been supportive and I appreciate you. So God bless you and the Black College Experience. And it's a great day. It's a great day. But good seeing you though.
you too. Thank you, Coach, and have a great rest of the weekend. Good luck on Saturday.
Take care. God bless you.
You
Go
too.
Dogs. Go Dogs. All right, come on in, man.